Yakanarra is a small Indigenous community located about 130 kilometres from Fitzroy Crossing. It has a population of around 100 people and is the home to Walmajarri Cultural Tours, a small social enterprise tour company that provides employment for local residents and gives tourists and other people a chance to experience the vast and rugged ranges of the St George Ranges, while learning about Dreamtime stories and bush tucker and medicine plants. I was lucky enough to be invited on the first of their new tours that take you into the heart of Walmajarri country. This tour starts at 7:30 at the Visitor Centre in Fitzroy Crossing. You get loaded onto the back of two troupies, and your local tour guides drive you through the vast land of the Fitzroy Valley. Before you get into Walmajarri land, however, you pass through both Bunnaba and Gooniyandi country. Once you pass over a dried creek bed, your tour guides then pull over onto the side of the dirt track and welcome you. You are now in Walmajarri country.
Hello, welcome to Walmajarri land. This is Beryl Dickens. I've got my partner here, Michael Mora, and my son, Junior Mora. So welcome.
A short drive later, we're at the old Cherubim Station homestead. There are a number of old buildings and structures strewn around the acre-sized piece of land, and our tour guide, Michael, told us what purpose each of them had.
It used to be station manager used to live in there,
Okay.
in this building up there. That's where they used to stay. And behind there, right behind us, is the kitchen. And there's a meat house where they used to put salted meat in there. And way down there, you can't hardly see it. They used to have a garden down there. But the fence is all broken out now. Oh, here. Yeah.
After walking around the old homestead area, our guides walked us down onto the riverbank. This was the Fitzroy River, and this particular part was a sacred site to the Walmajarri people.
He's calling out to the water snake to say that we're bringing visitors here, and not to be so vicious, sending winds, like with full force wind. So yeah, you're gonna get a rock and put it under your underarm and then throw it in the water, so the snake knows that you're here.
After throwing our rocks into the water, we stumbled over a tree that is used as bush medicine. Michael told us how it was used.
This leaf here, it makes you numb when you get poked by catfish fin. So what you get, once you're painting, you break a bit and chew them up like so, and then put them where you actually got poked, and then you put this one in there, you can keep it in there, and that pain will just disappear. You squeeze that little thing in there, like a little juice, and you keep that in there, and the pain will go away.
A short walk back up from the riverbank and we were met with Billy tea over the fire. As we sipped, we were taught about how to make damper.
You put the flour in first, and then you baking powder. You mix the baking powder and the flour together. Then you get a water. You put water in, and then you make it like a dough. And then you put flour in, and you knead it. You knead it like this.
Fed some delicious damper and Billy tea, we packed up and headed to Yakanarra. Before we made it to the community, however, we walked to the top of a lookout that looked over the houses and building of Yakanarra and the ranges further on. We also learnt that the lookout was named after the founder of Yakanarra.
It's called Boxer's Lookout, because the founder was a handsome boxer.
The founder of Yakanarra.
Yeah.
After walking down from Boxer's Lookout, we drove about 5 minutes to the edge of the St George Ranges. At the end of one particular cluster of ranges, there was a hill that stood out from the rest. We soon found out that it wasn't like the others and was in fact a solid rock. Our guides told us it was called Old Woman Rock, and it had a story to tell.
We call Parnine. She came from the west, because she was a naughty girl. Very naughty girl. And see those holes? Those are from spears. The old man chased them and speared her. And she didn't know this country very well, because she's a Nyigana Mangala woman, and she came to our land. And she didn't know where the water holes were, none. And she was very thirsty, and she just died here. And another thing, chicken gives baby, whoever touched it.
After climbing and walking around Old Woman Rock, the guides and tourists were hungry. It was lunchtime, so we headed to the Yakanarra store, a vital community centre for the residents of Yakanarra. There we enjoyed the local artwork that was in the gallery and had a fresh chicken sandwich. I used this chance to have a talk with the administrator and brains of the tours, Shane.
Yeah, hi everyone, my name's Shane Stewart. I'm the administrator out at Yakanarra Community, position I've been out there now for 3 years.
How did the Walmajeri cultural tours get started?
Well, when I first got out here, I had a bit of a chat to some of the people about some ideas we could do to sort of create some industry for Yakanarra, and one of them was tourism, which I thought would be pretty easy to get off the ground, considering the sites around the community itself, which are culturally significant and good to visit.
What kind of sites are there around here? What kind of things do people get to do on the tours?
Well, there's certain rock holes they can go and see, which have got all their traditional names attached to them, which I can't pronounce properly, so I won't try. People can come and learn how to track different animals like goannas and snakes and see which way they've gone, sample traditional foods, learn how to cook damper, and just explore some countryside which not many people have got to see.
Have you had much interest in the tours at the moment?
Well, we've been trying to get it up and going now for 3 years. This is our third year. We tried tag-along tours, which weren't very successful. Now we're doing where we tours day trips in and out of Fitzroy Crossing. So yeah, we're starting to gain some interest now. We've got a website happening and Facebook page, and so you can follow us on those. Yep,
cool. And we're in the middle of the tour right now. It's been a great day. How do you get onto one of these tours, say if you wanted to get onto a tour?
Well, you can visit our website and also our Facebook page, or just ring Derby Visitor Centre or Fitzroy Crossing Visitor Centre, which is our main place of departure. And they've got all the brochures and information there. They're currently out on a tour with us now. And so far, they've enjoyed it. We're halfway through it, so we've still got about another 2.5 hours to go before we head back to Fitzroy Crossing.
After chatting to Shane, we were loaded back into the Troopies and driven into the heart of the St George Ranges. The long and bumpy ride in the back of the Troopies was worth it to see firsthand the beauty of the St George Ranges. The sheer and size of these formations rising from the ground in a mostly flat land was amazing. But where we were driving towards was almost as good. At the end of the track, and a 20-minute walk even further, was a rock hole that was full all year round.
This is just a rock hole on top of Boulogne. That's where the bit of a main water comes from. Where the main water comes from, up near Boulogne there.
And it flows all year?
It flows, from since rainy time until in the drought season. There's still have water coming out of the rocks.
We sat on the side of the rock hole with our feet dangling into the cool, crystal clear water below and relaxed after the long day. After getting up and walking back to the cars, we drove back into Fitzroy Crossing with the beautiful Kimberley sunset as our backdrop, reflecting on what an amazing day we had.